Hello and welcome to McIver's Grant Public Library's Princess Mission. This is a special story time to go along with our Princess Mission on our Read Squared app. We are continuing our summer reading programming through the beginning of school this year just to give you a lot of fun things to do right up until the minute you go to school, and then maybe you might be wanting to stay in home. We'll give you some stuff to do in the afternoon when you get done with your schoolwork. The book we're going to read today is called The Paper Bag Princess. It's written by Robert Munsch. He wrote the words, so he's the author, and Michael Martchenko is the illustrator. That means he drew the pictures. This is a wonderful story, and it's new, so it's kind of sticking together. It was published by Annick Press. Okay. It says, To Elizabeth. Elizabeth was a beautiful princess. She lived in a castle and had an expensive princess clothes. She was going to marry a prince named Ronald. There's Princess Elizabeth and Ronald. Unfortunately, a dragon smashed her castle, burned all her clothes with his fiery breath, and carried off Prince Ronald. My goodness, look at that dragon wreaking havoc on her whole house. Let's see what happened. Elizabeth decided to chase the dragon and get Ronald back. She looked everywhere for something to wear, but the only thing she could find that was not burnt was a paper bag. So she put on the paper bag and followed the dragon. He was easy to follow because he left a trail of burnt forests and horses' bones. Ooh, what does she look like in that picture? Does she look like she's happy, or she's sad, or she's mad? What do you think? Would you follow a dragon? Finally, Elizabeth came to a cave with a large door that had a huge knocker on it. She took hold of the knocker and banged on the door. The dragon stuck his nose out of the door and said, "Well, a princess. I love to eat princesses, but I have already eaten a whole castle today. I am very busy, dragon. Please come back tomorrow." And he slammed the door so fast that Elizabeth almost got her nose caught. Oh my goodness. Elizabeth grabbed the knocker and banged on the door again. The dragon stuck his nose out of the door and said, "Go away. I love to eat princesses, but I have already eaten a whole castle today. I am a very busy dragon. Come back tomorrow." "Wait," shouted Elizabeth. "Is it true that you are the smartest and fiercest dragon in the whole world?" "Yes," said the dragon. Wow, he perked up a little bit, didn't he, when she started talking to him? What do you think's going to happen next? "Is it true," said Elizabeth, "that you can burn up 10 forests with your fiery breath?" "Oh, yes," said the dragon, and he took a huge deep breath and breathed out so much fire that he burned up 50 forests. That's a lot of fire, isn't it? "Fantastic," said Elizabeth, and the dragon took another huge breath and breathed out so much fire that he burned up 100 forests. "Magnificent," said Elizabeth, and the dragon took another huge breath, but this time nothing came out. The dragon didn't even have enough fire left to cook a meatball. Look at that. Just a little puff of smoke. Elizabeth said, "Dragon, is it true that you can fly around the world in just 10 seconds? "Why, yes," said the dragon, and jumped up and flew all the way around the world in just 10 seconds. He was very tired when he got back, but Elizabeth shouted, "Fantastic! Do it again." What do you think happens? You think he can do it again? So the dragon jumped up, and he flew around the world in just 20 seconds. When he got back, he was too tired to talk, and he laid down and went straight to sleep. She wore out that dragon, didn't she? Elizabeth whispered very softly, "Hey, dragon." But the dragon didn't move at all. She lifted up the dragon's ear and she put her head right inside. She shouted as loud as she could, "Hey, dragon!" But the dragon was so tired he didn't even move. What do you think happened next? Elizabeth walked right over the dragon and opened the door to the cave. There was Prince Ronald. He looked at her and said, "Elizabeth, you are a mess. You smell like ashes, your hair is all tangled up, and you are wearing a dirty old paper bag. Come back when you are dressed like a real princess." Ooh. Do you think Elizabeth is a real princess? Do you think it matters what you wear, whether you're a real princess or not? What do you think about what Ronald's saying? You ever had anybody make you feel like you weren't a real princess just because of something like that? "Ronald," said Elizabeth, "your clothes are really pretty and your hair is very neat. You look like a real prince, but you are a bum." And they didn't get married after all. Ronald showed his true colors, didn't he? That wasn't the normal happily ever after kind of book, but it was a happy ever after, wasn't it? Because who was true to herself? The paper bag princess, wasn't she? Was she a princess anyway? Absolutely. Does it matter what she's wearing? Not a bit. So I want to show you our craft today. Our craft has a picture of the paper bag princess on it. And it says, in the book The Paper Bag Princess by Robert Munsch, Princess Elizabeth must wear a paper bag when the dragon destroys her home and captures her prince. Let's talk about that for a minute too. Who saved who? Was Elizabeth stuck up in a castle and Prince and her prince came? Prince Ronald, couldn't think of his name, sorry. Prince Ronald came and saved her? No! Ronald was trapped in the cave, and Elizabeth, in nothing but a paper bag, came and outwitted a dragon and saved his life, and he was not even thankful. So what do you think of Prince Ronald's reaction when the princess comes to save him? I think I've told you my reaction, haven't I? But what's your reaction? What do you think about that? Have you ever had somebody treat you kind of that way that you didn't feel nice about? What characteristics do you think make up a real princess that are much more important than her clothes? So we've got some questions on this craft, and we also have a paper bag and a lot of things so you can make a dress for Princess Elizabeth. But there's something you have to do first. There's some index cards in here. And in the index cards, I want you to write down characteristics that make a princess that have nothing to do with her clothes. What would make you a princess? What kind of characteristics do you think you should have? Do you think you should be kind? You should be brave? You should be graceful? What do you think? What are some things that you are deep down inside without any kind of a fancy dress on? That's what I want you to write on your card, okay? And what ones you have, what ones you think Elizabeth had in the story. And then you can use those words and a lot of these little pieces of fun things to make a pretty dress out of a paper sack. So you can make a pretty dress for the outside. But first, let's talk about how beautiful people are on the inside, okay? All right, so you've got glue, you've got ribbon, you've got tulle, because, you know, you need tulle for princesses. And you've got glue and a doily, so you could have some lace, okay? So that's what we're going to do for that craft. All right, and if you just go to Read Squared, go to McIver'sGrantPublicLibrary.org and get on our summer reading page. About halfway down, we have a link that says Start Your Missions. It's a green box right under the Read Squared logo. And you can click on there, and the Princess Mission will be up and running. And you can find, there are 4 videos you can watch. And then if you read one more princess book, you can also get the Belle Princess badge. So come on and come back and see us soon. And until then, just keep living happily ever after.